Shockadoobie. Calculated. Shockadoobie.
Slay.
What a save.
So funny.
Welcome and thanks for listening to some chatter to scatter your brain and boredom on the Scattercast. When I was a kid, I had a really bad haircut. And
Are you still a kid now?
I mean, I do still have a bad haircut. But, you know, when I look at pictures of my parents, I feel like they also didn't have great haircuts when they were kids. And it got me wondering if there's like some sort of subconscious thing that happens when you're a parent that like you automatically give your child a really bad haircut on purpose. Because I was seeing some video and like I was like, this kid has a horrible haircut. Mm-hmm. His parents, like, they're an adult. They're smart. They see that it's a bad haircut. Why? Weigh in on that.
I think that checks out. Me and my sisters all had the absolute thickest, just like straight bangs as children.
Amen.
And we hated it. It was sucked. And not only that, it took a lot of convincing from my two oldest sisters for us to be able to finally grow our bangs out. Because my mom wanted us to have the bangs. And it was not a look. So
I wonder why she wanted it so bad.
I don't know. I should ask her.
You should ask her.
She can be the first guest. I'll call her up.
Tony knows what my hair looked like when I was a kid. I had
bad.
The same problem as you guys. I looked awesome.
No, you didn't. No, you really didn't.
Had that like swish, half swish, half bowl cut look.
Ooh, bowl cuts were such a thing in like
Sean,
middle
really
school.
Bad.
I had that Ole Miss swoosh. That's what it was. It was terrible. I had a mullet in 6th grade. That was even worse. I was trying to picture it right now, aren't you?
With a mullet.
It was really bad. I just let my hair grow, and it just did that.
You didn't trim the sides?
I don't remember. I don't know.
He didn't do any of it. His parents had it done, and it was horrible. So I think your dad might be listening to this eventually. Bob, I'm calling you out. Like,
yeah, fuck you, Bob. I don't mean it. I'm sorry.
You know,
that is such a bold choice for a child, though. A mullet.
I think it was my decision. I mean, my parents probably could have been like, they probably did tell me like, "Hey, dude, don't do that." But I was just like, I'm gonna grow it out. I'm so cool. 6th grade kind of blew though, so yeah.
Sean is really trying to save his skin. He doesn't want like a sad text from his parents to say, "Oh, I thought you loved that haircut." Type deal. Oh
no, they know it looked bad. That's fine. I'm not worried about that.
What about you, Allie?
I just came out of the womb with really bad hair. There wasn't much you could do. But then it turned blonde and it was cute. But I had the bangs and I didn't know how to take care of bangs. So once my mom stopped doing my hair, they were just...
You want to know a really, really embarrassing fact about me?
I do.
Just as a reminder, I did gymnastics from the age of like 2 to 11. I did not learn how to put my hair into a ponytail until the age of 14.
Wow.
You've said that before. That blows
I mean, I don't know how to do that, but...
Hey, wow, Sean.
Let me tell you, it's not hard. It's really not hard.
Like it. Talia, if it makes you feel any better, this is going to be way more embarrassing. I don't find it embarrassing at all, so feel free to laugh. But you know how most people tie their shoes where they do the like one loop and then like pull it through kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that. I just do 2 loops.
I mean, it works, right?
It does work.
It works, and it's the same speed. But I just never bothered to learn. So there's been occasions where like by some, circumstance or whatever, somebody's like seeing me tie my shoes and they're like, well, that's strange.
I would make fun of you for it.
But that's one of the ways that they taught you as a kid.
I feel like that's the baby way they teach you.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't learn how to tie my shoe till like I was 11.
Brother, what?
Tony?
Yeah, well, so my story is you remember Coach Mike?
I do.
So I did private soccer lessons with Coach Mike, and he kept having to tie my shoes. And he's like, all right, if you learn how to tie your shoes by next week, I'll give you $1. The whole week, didn't learn how to tie my shoes. On the way to soccer practice, or like my little private lesson, learned how to tie my shoes. He gave me $1.
Nice. He's a man of his word.
Actually, no, he didn't give me $1. He didn't, because he just didn't have cash on him. But he gave me like a bag of Doritos,
Nice.
which is like equivalent to $1.
More or less.
He's cool. I liked
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
I did some lessons with him too, and he always remember he called me Downtown Shawnee Brown and Back Around. It's a long nickname, but I
No way.
kind of dug it.
That was a really long name.
Downtown Shawnee Brown, back around
Yeah, and Back Around.
and back around.
We were learning child development last week and different milestones that kids are supposed to hit at a certain time. And if not, it can be like a sign of different neurological defects and stuff like that. The average kid is supposed to know how to tie their shoes by age 5.
5?
That
5.
seems late.
Late.
It does seem late. It does seem late.
I
Really?
learned
You thought it was early?
I learned when I was in second grade.
I guess I don't really know.
We're still alike.
I was 8.
Okay, we're close.
Dude, 8's way later than 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 12 is way later than 8. Okay.
Okay,
12
I
is
might have
bad.
been 11. Okay. I did have Velcro shoes for the most part.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
like
Velcro white
but the
breads.
thing is I wanted them because I would put the Velcro formation in an X instead of like straight across.
You're so
Dude, let me
cool.
tell you, I was the freaking coolest.
That's why he has so many friends now.
That's
And
why I'm
he
doing a
lets other
podcast
people
with
tell
us.
him that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm telling the world that right now because I'm on a podcast with my friends.
I was at the end of the story is Tony still does his shoes like that. He has Velcro shoes and he makes them into an X.
Honestly, I have considered just getting some because I do think they're kind of cool.
I would respect it. I honestly would.
Allie,
would
don't look at me like that.
respect I would not respect it.
We're coming on to the end of this year. Where there's a few months left, and I just want to know, like, what are some things that y'all are excited for towards the end of 2023?
Christmas.
We're starting our reproductive block in November, which is the block that I've been waiting for the past year and a half. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that is exciting.
What kind of draws you? Like, what is the? I mean, you want to take your career in that direction, but is there anything specific that you're going to be learning that you're really excited for?
Yeah, I guess there's, I don't know, just stuff that I know I'm interested in, because the patients I'm always most excited to see are the OB patients and gyne
Mhm.
patients. So just learning more about how to take care of them
Awesome.
That's cool.
would be nice.
I think you'll do a great job at that.
That's really exciting.
Shang Shu.
How long is that like block? It's from November to when?
I think our exam is either the 14th or 16th of December. It's one of our shorter blocks, because the block we're in right now is 10 weeks. And then I think that one's 5 weeks, maybe.
I'm going to be the better friend and give the better answer, which is the wedding. Clearly, that's what I'm excited
Oh, dang.
I feel like
points.
that's not at the end of the year.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
no.
It's like 2
By the time this episode comes out, we'll be a married couple. So
Oh, that's
That's
true.
wild.
That's
That's
wild.
exciting.
Do you have a message for your married
actually,
couple, Sarah?
wait, that's not true. No, it's not true.
Oh.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know that.
No,
Cut
it'll be.
this out.
We'll
Cut this
actually.
out.
We're getting married in 2 days, according to the day this is coming out.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No.
The schedule is so confusing.
My
Yeah.
episode, the Halloween episode, is the one before our wedding. That's me.
Okay, we're getting married in a week and 2 days. Guys, that's incredible.
A week and 2 days.
Oh my gosh, we're getting married in a week and 2 days.
Glad we figured that out
Whoa.
right off the bat.
Well, thanks, dude. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. We hope we can give you a great time and you can help us have a great time.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
awesome.
anything other than Christmas you're looking forward to, Talia?
I'm looking forward to the film industry finally starting back up, and hopefully maybe starting a career in that and what I actually want to do. But yeah, mostly just looking forward to like time with people. So like during our wedding and then our honeymoon and then the holidays and just like
First Christmas at the King house.
yeah, just because like last year, because of my job, I was only able to like go home for Christmas for like 2 days. which really, really, really sucked because that's one of my favorite things is being with family. So I'm excited to like actually have time with family this year. 2 families now.
Yeah, 2 families. Let's jump right into some internet people problems on today's edition of Scattered Advice.
It's time for Scattered Advice.
My theme today will hopefully lead to some open-ended discussions, and it's on school and college.
We've done
We
that.
did that.
We're
did
doing
Yeah,
that.
well, some of y'all are still doing that.
Still never leaving.
Advice on starting and continuing a conversation. And the guy was kind of talking about how he's new to college and there's someone who sits next to him and he starts a conversation, kind of dies out, and they get on their phone, and it's a little awkward to try and restart a conversation and, how to make friends. And I think this is kind of an open-ended thing. We all went through at least undergrad and ended up with at least a couple friends. And so do y'all have any advice on kind of starting a conversation, keeping it going without feeling awkward about it?
First off, I'd say my biggest thing is don't force a conversation. Like, if it's not happening, all right.
Yeah.
Which can be tough if you really like want to be friends with that person, right? But like that's not the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But as the like age-old advice is ask them about themselves. People really like talking about themselves. So just find something that just like a few questions about their interests or something I feel like is the easiest route. And if they're not responding to that, then that's probably a sign like that they don't want to talk to you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Also, asking them about their pets is always a good one. If they do have pets, people love talking about their pets and showing photos.
That's very true.
All right, I wanna kind of deflect from this. And what's like one outlandish question that you would ask somebody in a conversation?
If you had to hide a body, where would you hide it?
All right, Sean, off the
Oh,
cuff,
shit.
let's go.
I don't know.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. You can do it.
If you had to eat a body part, which body part would it be?
What the
The
fuck?
smallest one.
It's an outlandish question, is it not?
Yeah. Okay.
The smallest one.
So Sean, you can't go with bodies, with dead
If you
bodies,
had
or
to
eating
shoot
bodies?
yourself somewhere on your person, where would
How do you guys
shoot
just come up
yourself?
with these?
We're creative.
Brilliant.
Actually, I'm a Columbia College Chicago creative. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, Sean. They've come up with like 15 questions to ask people.
I know.
What's
Your
yours?
favorite color?
No, that's not outlandish. Okay, that's a pre-K level question. All right.
Explain to me why birds aren't real.
That's not a question. That is an order. That's a direct order.
But it's
from
like a
the
conversation
commander.
starter. Do it.
The high school teacher saying, my high school students want me to teach them life skills not taught in regular school. What do you think they need to learn before they graduate? And so we're a fair bit away from high school. And I'm sure we learned a lot of life skills that maybe we didn't actually learn in high school. And also keep in mind that we might have learned some things in college, and not everybody goes to college. Sean,
I
what
got
do you
one.
think?
Personal finance. That stuff is not taught in high school, and it so should be.
Like
Like
what kind of degree of personal finance? How to
Like,
budget or what?
How to budget, how to open a bank account, what a credit card and debit card do, how to pay your taxes, like that kind of stuff. I mean, no matter where you go or what you do, you need to know that information.
I'd argue that a lot of teachers don't even know how to pay their taxes. I'm not gonna lie. It's really complicated.
How to write a check.
I feel like good time management.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
I feel like a lot of these kind of would reflect on skills the teacher may or may not have as well. Are there any other like practical things in life that you think are necessary to learn before being an adult?
Yeah, maybe some like good go-to easy healthy recipes that are pretty cheap.
How to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I don't live in a place right now where I have or need a car, but like a lot of people do. And as someone who doesn't know a whole lot about cars, I think it's pretty important to know, like, if no one's taught you ever, like how to change a tire, like, what oil changes are and why you need to do them, and like just car basics.
Honestly,
totally
yeah.
screwed.
I still feel like I need that.
I do
I
too.
know I have a basic understanding of how to change a tire, but I've never done it.
I
And
know.
I'm scared for the time that, like, one of my tires pops or something.
Yeah. My plan is literally call AAA. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
And also, I feel like I'm going to get swindled by car places. Because I'm a young woman who knows nothing about cars.
I know how to change a tire, but I feel like I would still call somebody because it's dangerous to jack up your car
Hmm.
because it weighs a ton.
Yeah.
And well, we all had different, we all went to, well, me and Sean went to the same high school, but we all had different high school experiences. And is there something that, you think one of the core curriculums that you just think you were very underserved in? Like I would say in the English classes I did, I wasn't really taught how to write a good paper, how to write a good email, things like that I think are necessary to know when you're in the workforce, when you're in college for your, schooling in college, things like that. What are some things that maybe you guys think where you were underserved in terms of your primary education?
I mean, obviously, like all of us know how to write emails, but like so many people our age and younger do not. And that is like kind of a problem when you're trying to be professional, when you're emailing even like a professor, right? I will say in terms of like subjects, maybe this doesn't like quite qualify, but I'm going to say foreign language. Our foreign language education in America is horrible. And like where most other nations start at like really low grade school level, we start way too late. Most people don't retain it. And it's not prioritized. It's just like, oh, you got to do a couple credits just to say we did it. It's very like, it's not good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And then
Totally.
also back to the email thing, like, I do think that that's a really good one. And, like, not even just emails, but how to write, like, important, like, not papers, but, like, for example, like, a 2 weeks notice or a letter of leave, like, the things that I was doing. Like, once I got to it, I was like, I don't even know what to say. What am I supposed to say for this? I don't know how it works. And so I feel like important, like, notification letters or stuff is something good.
I would also say along those lines, like, obviously this stuff is very industry specific, but like how to make a resume and what a cover letter is and why you should know how to write one.
Absolutely.
I think interviewing skills would be really nice to start learning in high school, and then also like reproductive health, sex ed. I don't think it should be legal to only teach abstinence in public schools.
That's the education Tony and I got.
Yeah, I also got that, but my mom works at a gynecologist's office, so she supplemented it quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't even get the abstinence talk. I missed out because I took health in 9th grade, and you had to be in 10th grade to do the sex ed portion. So I just got nothing.
You had to be in 10th grade to learn sex ed.
That's when I did it.
Too late.
And I was homeschooled, and my parents didn't teach that.
That's what they called it. It wasn't abstinence only; it was abstinence plus.
Yeah, something like
plus
that.
What?
Which was essentially the same thing.
Abstinence plus
like
the fear of God.
It was to the point where like our like school nurse who came to teach that part of the course, like she was not allowed to like put a condom on a banana.
Oh yeah.
To demonstrate how to put on a condom.
That's wild.
My last point of scattered advice has a very clear relation to the careers Tali and I went to, but I think towards the college experience has a lot to do with you guys, especially you, Sean, a little bit. So I'm going to read this whole thing. I don't want to go into film, but I can't disappoint my family. I've been at film school for 2 years now, and I'm on my final year. Throughout this time, I've slowly lost any passion I've once had for it. I don't know what to do because my parents have paid for my education, even though they can't afford it, and I've been pushing down the feeling until now. I'm terrified of what will happen if I tell them that I don't even want to do it, after they have put so much time and money into supporting my dream. They have so much hope and so many expectations for me to do something amazing in the film industry, but I realize that I just loved the story aspect of it. I've always loved writing, and it just feels right to pursue that. I've been so privileged and lucky to have been able to go to film school, a fact I'm reminded of every day, but everything just feels so heavy the closer I get to completing my degree. I have 2 part-time jobs to be able to support myself through school, so it's all like I'm disappointing myself. I feel so spoiled and unappreciative for even thinking this, but I just don't know what to do. So Tali and I were film majors, so maybe we can speak to this as well. But Sean, you got a major and you changed your mind and now are doing another undergrad. And Allie, if I have it remember correct, you changed your major kind of early on in college as well. So maybe Sean, you can speak to kind of what it was like for you to realize that the original major you had wasn't really what you wanted to pursue, how you kind of found what you want to pursue now, and maybe how maybe some friends or family, how you approached speaking to them about it and how they reacted.
Yeah. So I originally I majored in and graduated with degrees in Chinese and international studies, or a degree in those subjects. Um, and but like I'd say about a year and a half before I finished my degree, I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. I was kind of like, you're getting more into the upper level classes that are more akin to like, what you might be talking about, learning about, doing for a job related to that field. I was studying sociology. I was also studying Japanese, and like the path for me was looking very like research focused. And while all of those topics were very interesting to me to study, I did not want to like every day like be doing research on them, writing about them. Like that just sounded really horrible to me. And sort of at the same time, I had this growing interest in. I mean, I've always loved music, especially game soundtracks, and so I kind of had this. But how do I say it? That was sort of like as a fan, but at that time I was sort of becoming like a creator of that stuff and learning more about music theory and composition and like sound design and all that stuff. And so it just kind of that sort of avenue opened up for me, and that I kind of knew like that's what I want to do. And I had felt for a long time while I was in especially the Chinese program that like for a long time I was like really good at Chinese, and like I could have gone on to make a pretty decent amount of money doing something like that most people would consider, I guess, sort of cool with that degree, right? But I just didn't want to, and so I approached my parents about it, and I was lucky to have them be very supportive of that choice. I know like this person, it sounds like their parents really have some expectations for them in the film industry. I would say like my parents weren't just like blindly like, yeah, dude, like do whatever. Like they were like, okay, like this is a big choice. You need to make sure you're thinking it through. You need to like make sure you understand what this means, and that like it's what you want to do. And so there were like a lot of times where they kind of, maybe not a lot, but like a few moments where we would talk, and I would like kind of feel like I had stuff figured out, or I thought I did, and then they would talk and they could tell that I didn't totally like have everything thought through yet. So they like really kind of made me get my shit together on that front. I would say to this person, like, as someone who has been there, and I never got expectations, like crazy expectations like that from my parents. They mostly avoided raising me in that way. But like I did get it from other sources. I got it from myself. I got it from, teachers in school. Your life is yours to live based on what you want to do, not on other people's expectations. And I know that's way easier to like say than it is to like actually internalize. But like if you want to be a writer, think about, maybe see like maybe the avenue right now is not a total 180. Maybe it's, writing for film or something like that, right? But eventually, like, I mean, I graduated from college, got my undergraduate degree, went back, and I'm getting a second bachelor's degree right now. Like, there's not like, And I'm lucky to have financial support to do that. I'm lucky to have like familial and friend support to do that. But like, you can make it work. And it's so worth pursuing what you want to do no matter what, than getting stuck and doing it now instead of doing something you don't like and 20 years down the line being like, well, I was right, I don't like this, and then trying to switch. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but
So, Allie, did I have it right that you changed major? So, did you always kind of know that you want to go into the medical field? And for you, what was your kind of decision to change your major?
Yeah, so I started college as a biomedical engineering major, and my plan was to go on to graduate school and possibly get a PhD in something like immunology. And I liked the idea of going on to work in vaccine research. But then I got into a research lab and realized I did not like doing research, which is most of what a PhD and then my future career would have been if I had stuck on that path. So I kind of had two options. I could pivot more into the engineering side and then graduate and become an engineer, or I could pivot into a different field that is similar in the sense that a lot of it's based in science and biology, which I really enjoy. So I looked at my engineering classes, and while I was doing well in them, I didn't enjoy them or the idea of pursuing engineering as a career. And so I was kind of having a little quarter life crisis, and my mom recommended that I shadow one of the doctors that she works with. And I really enjoyed it. And so also very luckily, Paige was on almost exactly the same journey as I was. And she decided to change her major from biomedical engineering to biology. And she looked into all the credits and stuff for graduation. And I kind of piggybacked with my good friend at the time. And I'm glad that I did, because now we're both in medical school and we're following career paths that we're more interested in.
So he's talking about he's finishing a degree, and he's realized that he's slowly fallen out of love. He's kind of spent probably about 4 years in college, based on that, to realize that, hey, this is not what I want. Can you talk about, Allie, a little bit of what the timeline was for you to realize that, hey, this is not what I want to do? And kind of, was there a realization, and kind of how did you face that? Did you try to force yourself to like it a little bit, or what?
Yeah, I switched majors about 1 year and 3/4 of the way into college. So most of the way through my sophomore year is when I changed. So I was lucky enough to make the change earlier. And I could have stayed with the same major and still applied to medical school, but I switched majors so I could graduate in 4 years. Because if I had stuck with biomedical engineering, I would have had to have taken an extra year in order to get the prereqs while still graduating.
Did you try to force yourself to like what you were doing originally?
I did. My parents were very supportive, though, and recognized that I was not excited about my career. And so they were the ones that suggested I look into a different path, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. It's great to
That's
have
good.
that parental support like Sean did as well.
Yeah.
So Talia, we were in the same film cohort in college. We both got film degrees, and there's a lot of students in our program that just dropped out. We started with 16, and 5 of us graduated. Can you maybe talk about kind of your experience through college? Were there any doubts, and kind of what skill set maybe do you get from film that you could see this guy or this girl using in a writing career?
I personally never had any doubts that I wanted to continue with it, just because I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all aspects of it, and even when there were people that I felt like were dampening the enjoyment I got out of, I realized it was never the filmmaking portion that was bad. It was usually the people, which obviously I'll have to deal with people in the industry for the rest of my life because it is always a team project. But that's something that I can live with. And I feel like most of the people that I've talked to who like make it in the industry are usually very kind. Except maybe when you get to the tippity top, I don't know. As for like things that they could take into their writing career, I feel like there's a lot. I feel like obviously storytelling is like the biggest one. You're gonna need to learn storytelling through filmmaking and through writing, and depending on what this person wants to write for, it's good to know like what goes into all the aspects after you've written the story. I think it also is a place that fosters being able to take feedback. Not everybody's good at that. And the more you handle it, I feel like the better you get. And then the last thing is I feel like because filmmaking is always a team project, it makes you really good. It helps you become really good at working with people and planning a schedule and like project management and just kind of all that stuff, which I feel like is valuable going into pretty much any job field. And also like they talked a lot about the money issue with their schooling, and I think that sounded like a really big part of like their guilt with it. But I feel like, I don't know, like you don't want to just, like Sean, I think, said, like, commit your life to something and then, like, a long time later realize you really dislike it and have wasted a lot of time and money and effort on it. Then,
money's not coming back, so you might as well spend it well.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. There's different scholarships that you can apply to as well. I know different programs have, like, a 5th-year scholarship where it's pretty common for students to end up needing 5 years of college, and a lot of scholarships end after 4. So maybe looking into scholarship opportunities like that. Taking out student loans is always an option. It's a hard one to recommend, but if it's what you need to do in order to get the education that you want for your career, it's definitely something to consider.
I think this really just kind of illustrates that there's great fortune in kind of knowing what you want to do with your life at different ages. And, you know, people typically go to college right out of high school when they don't really know much about the world typically, and they haven't been exposed to all sorts of careers that maybe they will later on. And, you know, people want to change what they want to do. So there is a fortune in that. And I kind of wanted to speak towards like the expectation aspect of it, because I also do film, and my parents never put like the expectation like, oh, Tony, like you'll win an Oscar or something. But I started like doing film stuff when I was in high school, and I was the film kid at school. You know, teachers and classmates were like, this guy, he's gonna do it big. He's gonna bring the name back to Oxford, blah, blah, blah. And when we started the film program, I was like one of the students that the teachers knew. So there was like a lot of attention upon me and expectation on that. And I struggle with that as well because of that attention. I would put a lot of expectation on myself. Like, I'm not afraid to admit it. I thought I was going to win an Oscar at the age of 19 just because of like at 15 I was like, and people telling me that I should do well, and I guess now I thought I was going to be good, but I think at some point I was like 19 and I was nowhere near winning an Oscar. Then you kind of realize that the expectations set on myself weren't realistic, but also aren't necessarily what I need to value. And so I think whether it's your parents, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a friend, I think you have to look at what do you really want to achieve. It doesn't have to be something that looks good to other people. It just has to be something that fulfills your life. My expectations and what I want to achieve now has nothing to do with winning Oscars. it has to do with just telling stories in whatever capacity that comes out. And so this person, I think he can kind of level it out with his parents a little bit and say, hey, you know, there's a lot of pressure maybe, but expectation that, you know, I will go into film, but maybe that's not where my skills are best suited, and, you know, figure out what is actually achievable for what he's learned. And as Talia said, there's a lot of skills that you learn in film that translate to other careers.
Yeah, and he pointed out, or he or she pointed out, that the storytelling of film is what got them into it. So I think the transition into an education in writing might not be a complete 180. You might be able to switch it to something that's doable in maybe not 8 years, but 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like with expectations, I think the fact that it's not a complete 180 helps. And I think also, I'm not saying my thoughts well, but basically my sister did like completely change her mind through college. She originally wanted to be like, she was pre-med, and like halfway through she was like, I really don't want to go to school for 10 more years. I don't actually think I'm interested in this. And that was a hard conversation for her to have with my parents, because my dad's a doctor, and like they knew that my oldest sister and I weren't at all interested in the medical field, and she was kind of like their little hope of like, oh, maybe she'll like go into something like that. But if your parents, you know, it depends on who your parents are, but I think she finished out her degree but added to it. So instead of being a pre-med major, she changed it to I don't remember what it's called, but it's the major where you take 3 minors.
General studies.
General studies, yeah. And she had a minor in biology, chemistry, and then business, because she realized that she was interested in having like a restaurant or a coffee shop, and ended up going to pastry school afterwards, and now owns a coffee truck. So that ended up helping. But I think like the fact that she still kind of saw out part of her original thing was a helpful factor for my parents. So it could be something where instead of majoring in film, they could drop to a minor and then minor or major in writing or something, so that it's not a complete waste of time as like they're thinking it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was one thing my parents were pretty adamant on, was like, you know, like, we support you in wanting to do something else, but you're close enough to like the degree that you have that you should get it. And they were completely right. I also want to stress to this person who made this post that like, if you can't already tell from all our anecdotes and stuff, like what you're feeling is super normal. I don't know, society leads us to believe that like you're supposed to have it all figured out what you want to do for the rest of your life by 18. And like, that's so impossible. Most people don't. And most people figure stuff out about themselves in college, after college, like that totally changes their trajectory, and that's okay. And that's good.
Well, I think that was a really enriching discussion. Does anybody want to add anything?
That's a good question you picked.
I want to voice my support of you switching career paths.
Yeah.
I think if you've had this thought for quite some time, it's for a reason.
Hmm.
You should pursue it.
Yeah.
Go for
Well,
it.
that's some scattered career advice there too, I guess.
The scattered cast is on your side.
You scattered cast, you always find support for depending. You
might
won't actually,
always.
Not monetary, but
not monetary, or but
You'll
if you just
find
need
moral
a
support if your morals are in the right place.
scattered support.
yeah, scattered support. Let's move into this week's edition of the Scattered Pitch.
Great ideas? We got them. This is Scattered Pitch.
I choose a product, and y'all have to create a name, slogan, and commercial to promote it. This week's pitch should be for a restaurant chain to feature exclusively on college campuses and should be targeted for that demographic. What do you serve? What's your business plan? And how do you market yourself?
We're only open at night because all the fucking food places close at like 8 p.m.
That's
But
good.
we would be open. And we serve breakfast food, good hangover food,
Yeah.
food to fill your tummy when you're feeling a little too drunk.
Okay.
I
And
feel
we're
like a
cheap.
cereal bar would be a fun addition.
Ooh, I would
Cereal
love
bar.
a cereal
I like that.
bar.
And maybe like, and this is going to be like, because it's fast food, right? So like kind of breakfast buffet kind of deal. Like you're not sitting down and like waiting for your food to come to you. Like it's just greasy, good breakfast food, soaks up whatever you've been drinking.
And also corn dogs.
Corn dogs.
Freaking love corn dogs, and I have been wanting a corn dog now for a few weeks.
I feel like
I love
we're
corn
making
dogs.
breakfast cookout.
Ooh.
Breakfast
On
cookout for
campus.
campus.
But better,
But which is not a bad idea.
because it has a cereal bar, which is
All right, so how do y'all market yourselves?
We're open, bitches. When everywhere else is closed, we're your only option. Come on in. Desperation.
Always there for you type deal?
I want alliteration, like something breakfast, like collegiate breakfast. Obviously, it's not alliteration, but like
Oh my
you
You know what an
Collegiate
alliteration
breakfast.
is?
collegiate word that means breakfast that starts with the same sound.
Back
You
to
know?
the high school thing, I think the spelling part of your high school education didn't work there because alliteration means that both words start with the same letter.
Yeah, I know what I was saying. What's another word for
Bedtime
breakfast?
breakfast.
bedtime breakfast. That's actually not bad because it's at night.
That's good.
That's actually pretty good.
Bedtime
Yeah.
breakfast is pretty good.
Bedtime breakfast, baby. Bedtime breakfast and more.
Bedtime breakfast and booze.
Okay.
I feel like we don't need to do anything super crazy. Just kind of down home, like no frills. Like you know exactly what you're getting. The quality
Kinda
is
like
like
Waffle
good. Like it's not
House
gross.
vibes.
Yeah, Waffle House vibes
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, quality's good. It's not like fancy because you don't want that. It's cheap. Like it's effective.
fast because it's a buffet. You
It fills you up.
immediately get your
Yeah.
food as soon as you walk in.
All
Get
you can
in.
eat.
Sober up.
Maybe some options.
As an
Options.
option.
Different
Okay,
pricing
so like y'all
options.
got
Not the
maybe create a
default.
combo and tell me what it's called and what's on it or what's in it. What's in the combo?
Breakfast creations.
Definitely like breakfast bowls because you get a lot in
Oh.
there. Like a hash
Like
brown
a
bowl or like a skillet
burrito.
kind of thing, but just in a
Yeah.
bowl. I feel like those are really filling. You get a lot of stuff in there, and they're pretty cheap.
And it's called breakfast in a bowl.
The breakfast bowl.
What do we want to put
Oh,
in? I mean,
gosh.
definitely like a hash brown and egg base. I would think
Sausage.
sausage for sure.
If you want meat, we could have some vegetarian options.
Yeah, different dietary restriction, different religious food restriction options for
Yeah.
each item.
Yes.
we just call it the bedtime bowl.
Bedtime bowl.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I like
there
it.
you go.
Bedtime
Bedtime
bowl.
bowl.
Invest.
I unironically that would bang.
Honestly,
Certainly would
I
on our
agree.
former campus.
I would have eaten there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our on-campus options all sucked anyway for the most part.
Tony got food poisoning from the Panda Express.
I did, and I never ate there ever again, and it just sucked.
Jordan went to that place all the time.
He worked.
I used to
Didn't
like
he
every
work there?
day.
He worked there for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he went there so much after
I
that.
totally forgot
Yeah.
that. Well, says a lot.
That stuff, like, it tastes pretty good going down, but oh man, like the feeling it leaves you with, it sits in your stomach like this awful greasy rock.
I've actually never felt that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gluten free, so you just suck, dude.
It might
I
be
wasn't
the
gluten free when I had that.
Maybe
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
why.
Yeah, that it caught Panda Express. You're getting a lawsuit here. You made Sean gluten free.
I will say our McAllisters actually had decent gluten free bread.
Well, I think that's a pretty successful scattered pitch right there.
Bedtime
That-
breakfast.
Yeah, that was real easy for y'all. Y'all had a lot of ideas on that.
We've been to college.
I mean,
So-
it's food.
So, to y'all listeners, I'll let you into a little secret. We're recording this episode a few weeks in advance because Holly and I are getting married and going on our honeymoon soon. So we haven't had a week to actually try and hit a new self-care goal. However, this is a very important subject, and I want to have a scattered self-care segment regardless, dude.
Mhm.
This is Scattered Self Care, to ward off the looming despair.
This week, instead of setting a goal to try and obtain, I'd just like you to share something that you changed in the past for your self-care and how it improved and affected your life. Take a trip down memory lane, Allie. You're on the spot.
All right. I used to be kind of a picky eater. And so this is talking more physical health than mental health, but they're all connected. So I'm going to go for it. But when I moved out of the dorm sophomore year into an apartment, I started learning how to actually cook vegetables. Because there's this one time when I was younger, my parents made me eat green beans, and I actually threw the green bean back up onto my plate. So, it was a physical reaction.
That's a bold reaction.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a mild food, too.
Yeah. So I started learning how to cook vegetables the way that I actually enjoyed eating them. And now I really like veggies and I'm less picky. I was never like super picky. But now I'm not picky at all. So that's good.
My worst picky eater story was when I was in second grade, we went to Taco Bell. And I asked for a taco with specifically no lettuce because I really didn't like lettuce. And there was one piece of shredded lettuce, just one, and they're really short, not even an inch long, on my taco. And it scarred me so much, I didn't go to Taco Bell for 8 years after that.
Well, honestly, that was probably okay.
I mean, I love Taco Bell, so I was missing out.
Recurring
Yeah,
stuff.
Taco Bell
It's good.
It is good. I just
had a coworker. I just had a coworker tell me that Taco Bell was probably the best fast food chain, and I was like,
I mean,
we talking about that.
I'm not arguing. Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully I'm not picky. I'll eat lettuce now.
Well, what is your what's something in self-care that you've done in the past that still improves your life today?
Still improves my life today?
Yeah. Allie still did, so
yeah.
You gotta one up her. It's gotta be better.
No, I can't do that.
I did just have toast for dinner, so maybe.
If you need time to think, I have one.
I do. Yeah, you go.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. Mine's pretty simple, but I feel like it's one of those things that it has totally paid dividends that I haven't even realized since I did this thing. So when I was a kid, I was like a Sprite fiend, man. I drank so much Sprite. Like, I never was really into Coke or I liked like root beer or whatever, but like, dude, Sprite was my bev.
My bev.
Your bev.
I hate when
now
you
it's
short
wine.
words. I hate it.
No, but for real, like I loved Sprite. I would have it all the time. And I don't remember when exactly I did. I feel like it was early high school or like late middle school, something like that. So it's been a while, but I just completely cut all soda out of my life, which mostly just meant Sprite. And I feel like that's such a simple thing, but not consuming that. I mean, I literally drink like water, wine occasionally, and like a smoothie, and I would have like orange juice before too and stuff. Like, I feel like I have probably benefited in ways I don't even know by not having Sprite like all the time.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and jump in because you kind of stole mine.
Yeah, I figured I might.
Y'all probably know that I used to drink like 3 or 4 bottles of Coke a day. Very bad. And so once I graduated college, over like the course of a month and a half, I quit drinking Coke. I quit Coke, guys. Cocaine.
It's impressive.
Which was actually really difficult because like I would get really bad headaches and just like sugar deficit, I guess, and just
caffeine
cravings
too, right?
Yeah, caffeine is crazy.
Caffeine withdrawals gives you headaches.
I am an adult when I quit because I can kind of realize some of those changes. Maybe that, Sean, you wouldn't have noticed because you were kind of younger and didn't really keep track of that. I know, right?
Now.
But like my appetite like doubled, tripled, quadrupled.
Really?
Yeah, like because I had so much liquid weight in me all the time that I didn't really eat as much.
Which wasn't full of nutrition.
Yeah, and like if at any point like Talia would know, like I was trying to gain weight for a long time, and so I was forcing myself to eat more and more because I got to get those carbs in and whatever. But then it would just make me feel so sick because I was overeating because there's a lot of like liquid weight. So since quitting Coke, that's been a huge improvement.
Mm.
Is just the ability to actually eat a regular amount of food for my body, and I've been able to gain the weight that I wanted to gain. And so,
just
yeah.
general gut health.
General gut health for sure, and my digestive system is so much better.
That's important.
So yeah, you'll always hear me talking about how much better my life is now that I don't drink 3 or 4 bottles of Coke a day, and my wallet. But yeah,
Or your mom's wallet.
or my mom's wallet. Talia, how about you?
I did come up with mine. I think my biggest one was, I knew this like as a kid, but it was a lot easier to handle as a kid because like I would get my homework done really fast and have all the time that I wanted. Whereas as an adult, it's a lot harder. And that is finding like alone time and time to be like, I'm very introverted. So finding time to just like be by myself and like either read something or even just take a bath or just anything that recharges me has been something that's been really important for me. I went like a few weeks at some point. I've done it multiple times where I'll go a few weeks without having any alone time, and just like my temper's up, my like energy is to the floor, and I like just have a really hard time handling any sort of stress. So like making sure to take even 30 minutes out of every day to just let down and be by myself has been something that's really important to me.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us can relate to that. We're all pretty introverted, right? Like,
yeah.
I definitely agree. Like that alone time is so important to me, just to recharge.
It took me a while to figure out like the alone time is what I needed, because we used to go on camping trips a lot as a kid, and there's no personal space when you go on a camping trip with your family.
Yeah.
And I would be such a little brat with my attitude sometimes, just because I literally had no time alone besides when I was going to the bathroom. Other times you do everything with your family. You sleep in the same tent or room or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially being in like an extroverted world. Like it's hard like to find a work-life balance when you especially need at least time alone, because then you're like, well, I want to work and I want to have time to be with friends and I want to have time to cook and exercise, and I also want time to be by myself, and it just feels like an astronomical amount of things to do.
It's also, I feel like
it's hard.
It feels like that's the one we're told to cut out.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like quote unquote productive. Like I'm not cooking something or making something or like cleaning something or whatever, right? Or like doing something with people. But like it's super important for all those other things and just your well-being in general to have time where you're not necessarily doing much of anything. You're just chilling by yourself. I saw someone I follow on Instagram posted something one time in their story that was like, it was like, a little meme. It was like, my friend's texting me to come do something when I haven't gotten my mandatory 8 hours of alone time for the day. And I was like, I mean, 8 hours is a lot, right? But like relatable.
Yeah, very relatable. Well, you scatterbrains, I think that should hopefully come as a sign of encouragement or a little bit of guidance. I think that was a great scattered self-care over there. Let's end off the episode with a segment of Scattered Truth. I'm going to say 3 facts, but only one of them is true. It's up to the 3 of you to figure out which one it is. Dun, dun, dun. But you can only ask me to explain 2 of the facts. Today's category is sports. First around on the Olympics, next around on soccer. All right, fact number 1 for the Olympics. A University of Michigan student has won a medal at every Olympics since 1908. Fact number 2. Athletes in the Olympics originally performed completely naked.
Dope.
Number 3, Elmo Lincoln, the first Tarzan actor, won 5 gold medals in swimming at the Olympics.
For the naked one, I mean, like in Rome, they would compete naked. I don't think that was the Olympics.
Is that referring to the ancient Olympics or the first modern Olympics?
I think that would be an explanation thing.
Yeah, that might be an explanation
Ooh,
thing.
that should be in the question.
I could believe the University of Michigan one.
Yeah, I could believe all these. Although I feel like the Michigan one could very easily be like, it wasn't 5 medals, it was 4. Or it wasn't Michigan, it was a different place.
That's fair.
But like, we have no way of knowing that, so I would still vote for that one if we just.
What was the third one?
Elmo Lincoln, the first Tarzan actor, won 5 gold medals in swimming at the Olympics.
I'm going to say that one's a no, because I feel like it's maybe a different sport.
Or it's 5 silver medals.
Yeah, like...
Do we want an explanation on the Naked Olympics?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. The first Olympic Games took place in the 8th century BC.
All right.
That's
I
all
feel
you
like
get.
they were completely nude.
Okay.
All right.
I've read that.
Do y'all want me to explain any other one?
I would go for Michigan.
I'm for Michigan too.
All right. Founded in 1817, Michigan is one of the top schools for sports in the United States, with a most recently notable graduate, Michael Phelps.
Damn.
Well, there's some Olympics checked off right there with him.
All
Was
right.
it gold medal?
No, just won a medal.
Oh, okay. Well,
Any medal since
The
1908.
the third one was 5 gold medals.
Yeah.
What about the years where there were no Olympics? Are you counting?
Like during the wars.
Yeah.
probably not.
There's not like a trick thing
that
in
would
there.
just in every Olympic that has taken place since 1908, because they don't do the Olympics every year, anyways.
This is true.
I'm personally casting my vote for Michigan, but I know, Allie, you feel strongly about Naked Olympics.
I'm casting my vote for Naked Olympics, but I can
Talia.
understand going a different route.
My hope is on Naked Olympics because that sounds fun, but I feel like it might be the Michigan one, but I'm gonna cast my vote on Naked Olympics.
All right. Well, I'll let you know that Elmo Lincoln did not win 5 gold medals.
Okay.
He was the first Tarzan actor, but Johnny Weissmuller, who I think is probably the most notable Tarzan actor, he did win 5 gold medals in swimming, and he later played Tarzan in 12 movies, and I've seen all 12.
12 movies?
Yep, and
You've seen all 12?
I've seen all
Damn.
12.
I don't know you're a
Like,
Tarzan fan.
These are like old ass like black and white Tarzan movies. So it's now it's between University of Michigan or completely naked Olympics.
My heart is pounding.
And I've got to let you know that the true fact is that athletes performed naked
No.
in the original Olympics.
Hey! We did it!
What was the Michigan
Wow.
one?
So Michigan, actually Stanford has had an
Really?
Olympic winner at every Olympic since 1908.
And Michael
feel
Phelps
like
is
Michael Phelps did go to Michigan.
Yeah, I feel like you can't lie in the...
Yeah, you can't lie in the
Explanation.
explanation.
Yeah, just have to like give a false, not like a false, but like a fact that will corroberate,
Right.
trick
Either
them
way,
out.
yay! We did
Yes. Go.
Finally,
girl power. There you
I
go.
won
We
one.
did
There you go. All right. The next round is on soccer/football. So,
Okay.
soccer legend Pele was born with 6 toes on both feet.
Hell
Okay.
yeah, brother.
Unfair advantage.
Yeah, I didn't say if he kept them. Number 2, a city in Pakistan produces 70% of the world's supply of soccer balls.
The world's... Oh, I thought you were going to say soccer players.
No.
The
And then the
world's
third
supply.
fact, the
They just be pumping out them soccer kids.
the inaugural 1991 Women's World Cup had only 45-minute long matches compared to men's football having two 45-minute halves.
Damn, that's weird.
All right, my top two are the first and the third one.
What was the second one again? Oh, Pakistan? Yeah, I feel like that's way too high. 70% is way too high.
I'm okay with hearing explanations for the first and third.
Explanation for soccer legend Pele was born with 6 toes on both feet. The nickname Pele in Portuguese actually means 6 toes.
How? How would Pele mean 6 toes?
Well, I mean, we have to take that as a truth.
One word for 6 toes?
Yeah.
So they had a
Because
baby.
you can't lie in the explanations.
They had a baby who had 6 toes, and they're like, yeah, we'll name him
Okay,
6 toes.
so the way it works in Brazil, like a lot of soccer players in Brazil, they'll be like, you got Ronaldinho, Kaká, Pelé, Neymar. That's like not their actual name. That's like their nickname, and they go by their nickname. So Pele's like legal name is not Pele, but he's known as Pele,
okay.
and so but like that's how it works in Brazil. So that's some context that I'm
makes
adding
me feel
now.
better about his parents.
I
Yeah,
know
no.
Pele in school. I don't know if he had 6 toes, though.
Well, that's just what it means in Portuguese. All right, y'all want an
That's
explanation for
interesting.
the third one?
Yeah.
The inaugural 1991 Women's World Cup had only 45-minute long matches compared to men's football having two 45-minute halves. April Heinrichs, the captain of the U.S. team at that time, commented that organizers were, quote-unquote, they were afraid our ovaries were going to fall out if we played 90.
It can happen.
That checks out.
Well, that I believe.
I would guess that one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems plausible.
So they played a whole tournament and they just
Wait,
had
did they not have
45-minute games.
halves? Wait, did they not have halves in?
I feel like they
45
did
is
I
not
can't
play.
verify
divisible
that. I can't verify or deny that. Their matches in total were 45 minutes.
I bet their matches were probably shorter, but if they were the 45 is kind of a giveaway, I feel like, because they probably still had halves. And if they had halves, then it wasn't going to be an odd number. That's my reasoning
This is
for
a
not
fair.
thinking
It could
that
have been
one's
like
true.
60 minutes, and they had
Right.
30-minute
Yeah.
halves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one's false.
Okay.
And then
So then
Pele,
we
6
have
toes.
Pele.
I feel like, Allie, do you know, is it more medically plausible for him to have 6 toes on both feet or on one foot?
It's pretty possible to have them on both.
Is that more or less plausible than just one?
I don't know, but I know it's definitely plausible.
What are you
also,
even learning up
polydactyly
there?
is super common.
What
so-
are you even learning? They haven't got to the 6 toes section yet.
Come
Yeah.
on. The 6 toes block
Oh.
is next. I feel like I'd rather get that one wrong.
Which one wrong?
The one we think is false. I'd rather
Which one?
the Women's World Cup one. I
What are you
feel like
saying?
that's false. I'm saying I don't think we should say that one's true.
Okay,
Yeah. sorry.
I'm on board with that.
You did say it kind of confusing.
Just keep up, guys. Come on.
Is it 6 toes or balls?
I could
6
believe.
balls.
I could believe the balls.
I could believe the balls for sure.
I just don't
Do we
understand
think
how
it's
the word
Pakistan
Pele
then?
could mean 6 toes.
Why?
Well, but we know that's true though because that's part of the explanation.
Tony, can you lie in the explanation?
No, I'm not lying in any explanation.
Okay. I really hung up on that for some reason.
I don't know why you are.
I knew a Pele in school. I don't think he had 6 toes.
Was
It
he?
doesn't mean he has
was he
it.
Portuguese?
He could be named after the soccer player at that point.
Yeah. The
I don't
problem
think
with
he
these
was
two is they
Portuguese.
both have 2 spots where they could be false.
Yeah.
So, like it could be more or less than 70%. It could be a different place than Pakistan. And then it could be like he just didn't have 6 toes or like, well, he probably did if that's what his nickname meant, but it could not be on each foot.
Or he could be nicknamed 6 Toes because he uses his feet really well.
Or actually, that's true, yeah, because he's just so good. It's like he has an extra toe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of swinging towards Pakistan.
I'm leaning towards Pakistan. I'm okay with getting this one wrong. I really am not sure.
This was a toughie.
Yeah, I think I'm for Pakistan too.
I'll let you know that at the first inaugural Women's World Cup, women played 80-minute matches as opposed to 90-minute matches.
Interesting.
But
Just give 'em
starting
like
the
just
second
10
World
minutes,
Cup,
give it to
they
'em.
played 90.
Yeah, that's
Um,
really stupid. 10 minutes doesn't do
so
anything.
Yeah. So, and I will let you know, although Pele does mean 6 toes, that is a false fact, and y'all are right
Nice.
about Pakistan.
Two
So
out of two.
There is a theory that that people do believe that Pele was born with 6 toes, but the nickname does derive from what Talia was saying, that he's so good that it's like he has 6 toes.
But
But-
good job, Talia.
So actually, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this fact about a city in Pakistan producing 70% of the world's supply of soccer balls. 8% of the city, called, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but Sialkot.
Where is it?
8% of the city actually works in ball manufacturing, and 80% of the balls they produce in that city are hand stitched. And so a lot of the people work there, and it's only women who are doing the hand stitching. A lot of the men work in more in the materials. But what really sucks is that the living wage kind of to live in this city is estimated to be around 20,000 rupees a month. I don't know what that is in dollars, but working per month, they making about 3 balls a day, they'll earn about only 9,600 rupees per month. So, but if you look at it, like, soccer is the world's game. It's a huge, huge, like, money organization in the world. And so kind of ethically sourcing our materials, like, what's the deal here? Why is everything only produced in one town? And why are the people who are fueling this very profitable industry, living in
Being treated
poverty?
like dirt.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
So, yeah, capitalism. It's a difficult thing to think about. We played soccer today, and it's very possible that the balls we use to play soccer, somebody earned next to nothing for that, but they've just kind of slaved away at doing it. So I think
78% chance.
Yeah, I mean, and generally in life, I think where we get some of our materials, something to think about where it actually came from. Yeah. But congratulations,
That's
y'all got
interesting.
2 for 2 on Scattered Truth. That was a
Yeah,
first
I feel
time
like
for
I'm
everything.
kind of 1 for 2 because I voted for. Not
Yeah,
the
well, you
correct
suck,
one.
Sean. So. Talia and Allie over
Hey,
here.
you were 1 for
you
2
got a
last
chance.
episode.
It's been a great time to be on the Scattercast once again. I think all 4 of us are enjoying doing this podcast, and we'd love for y'all listeners to support us any way you can. And you can do that by following us on Spotify, subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on any social media like TikTok or Instagram. Everything is at the Scattercast. So just check us out on all the platforms that you like to. Keep listening, keep tuning back in and interacting with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the podcast. So I've been Tony. I've been hosting this episode.
And I'm Talia.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Allie.
Scattercast. Da-da-da. All right. Yay.
I'm really excited
Cut
about
recording.
winning.
Calculated.
That's so
Scattercast.